so which will work as a new activity or new application. Let me click on next, and let's say demo intent. Next, I want to go with empty activity, so next, my activity name is main activity and it must have layout file as well, so I am clicking on this, and let me give finish. So for new module, Gradle is getting built. Very soon you will find new application here. Yeah, so inside this app folder now you can see demo intent is the new module. Fine. So now inside this demo intent, but actually I think I did a mistake here. It is better that we create inside this main package. Let me create here only so that we can have track of all the applications together. Let me write again intent demo. I will explain you what is intent and how we can switch from one activity to another activity, so don't worry. Yeah, now there you are. And now I don't want this, so let me delete this. Where is it? Yeah, I can refactor it only. Okay, fine. Okay, as of now, I don't want to go with this. Yeah. See, we have created intent demo. This is the new module for us. Now, as I said, in today's session, we are going to discuss how we can switch from one activity to another activity. So now you can see here, if I explore intent demo, then it is having a source file. Let me change the structure so that it would be easy for you. Yeah. See, intent demo, this is the new module. It is having Java folder, it is having resource folder, whatever we have discussed. In the Java folder, you can see this is the main activity file. Let me close unnecessary files. And in the layout folder, there is only one XML file, which is this. So now what I'm going to do, I will create 2 or 3 activities. Then in each activity, I will place few controls, and based on the click events of other controls, we will be able to navigate from one activity to another activity. So let me create one more activity in this application. Let me go with one more activity, empty activity, and let's say second. I want layout file as well, and I don't want to set this activity as a launcher activity, so I'm not selecting this. And let me click on finish. So it will create one more activity in the same application. So likewise, I will create one more activity. So total there will be 3 activities, and then in each activity we will place certain controls, and then we will implement the click events of each control, and we will see how we can navigate from one activity to another activity. So you can see now there are 2 activities. Let me create one more. So again I'm going with again I'm doing right click on package, the new. You can click on the activity, select the empty activity. Let's say this is my third activity and finish. So now in this project or in this application, you can see there are 3 Java files and 3 XML files. It means in my application there are 3 activities. Let me go to the manifest file. You will be able to find all the activities here. You can see each activity is listed here. Main activity is the launcher activity, while second and third, the remaining 2 activities are also registered. So now let me do little bit design in each activity. So let's say in main activity I want to place a few controls. Let me remove this. Let's go to the code part. And as I said initially, you don't have an idea about all the layouts, so I'm not going to use constraint layout. Let me rename this with linear layout. See, let me explain linear layout little bit. In linear layout, generally it places all the controls in the same order in which the controls are coming. So for example, if I am using linear layout and if I try to drag the components, so you can see here, if I try to drag this button and if I place it, then you can see by default it is getting placed here only. Similarly, if I place one more button, if I drag it here, then also you can see by default it has adjusted automatically. Why? Because I am using linear layout, and linear layout says you can arrange all the components in the linear fashion, but you can change the orientation pattern. As of now, the components are placing in horizontal orientation. Now instead of horizontal, if I place vertical, see by default it is horizontal. Here there is one property which is orientation. You can see here Android : orientation. This is the property of linear layout, and if I select this property, then you can see I am getting 2 options. Either I can arrange all the components in horizontal orientation, or I can go with vertical orientation. If I go with vertical, then all the components will be listed in vertical manner. So now let me go to the design part, and you can see both the buttons are in vertical manner. And so it is up to you, whatever option you want to go with, you can choose that. One more thing, for this layout width I am using match parent, and for height also I am using match parent. That is why it is covering the entire length. But if I use wrap content everywhere, then it will wrap the controls with its content only. Now you can see. And similarly, if I change this vertical to horizontal, then this is how it looks like. Is it fine as of now? Are you getting the idea about linear layout?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Still, we are going to discuss linear layout in detail. Don't worry. But as of now, in each session, I'm going to use this linear layout. So that's why I'm trying to give the brief idea about linear layout. The only thing is you can use linear layout. You can set the orientation property. If you want your components in vertical fashion, then you can go with vertical. If you want them to be organized in horizontal, then you can set the orientation property as horizontal. So this is how it looks like.
સર
Now, yes.
સર એક આ વેબ પેરેન્ટ એનું એકવાર ઓલું કહી દ્યો ને
Okay,
એટલે
meaning
શું
of
થાય
wrap content. Yeah.
યસ
See, here this button is there. Fine. Let me go with vertical orientation so that I can explain it clearly. See, this is how the buttons are listed out. Now here, what I have used in both the buttons, the properties which I'm using, the properties are wrap content everywhere. You can see. For first button, I am setting layout width as a wrap content, layout height as wrap content. So the meaning of wrap content is whatever text is there, it will spread your control to that text only. देखो, BUTTON. So this is the content of this button. तो वो क्या करेगा, कंटेंट के हिसाब से बटन को स्प्रेड करेगा. बट इफ आई यूज मैच पेरेंट इंस्टेड ऑफ रैप कंटेंट, यहाँ पे जो फर्स्ट बटन है उसके विथ में मैं मैच पेरेंट रखता हूं, तो अभी क्या होगा, इंस्टेड ऑफ लुकिंग एट द कंटेंट इट विल स्प्रेड द एंटायर बटन टू द एंटायर विंडो. तो उसकी जो विथ है वो कंप्लीटली स्प्रेड हो जाएगी. but again one more thing, this layout width is also wrap content, तो उसको भी हमें match parent बनाना पड़ेगा, because I am using layout. If you don't use layout, then it is not an issue. You can see now the button is getting
Okay.
spread through the entire screen because I have given the match parent. Similarly for second button, if I give a match parent in the height, तो वो उसकी जो हाइट है वहां पे पूरी स्क्रीन पे वो स्प्रेड हो जाएगा. बट अगेन फॉर दिस लेआउट, where is the height? Height is also wrap content, so I need to go with match parent. You can see. Fine. So
Yes,
as of now, I want to cover the content only. So it is always advisable that you use the wrap content everywhere, because match parent is not ideal for most of the cases. Mostly we will use wrap content only. So this is how your design looks like. And here I don't want match parent in vertical. Let me go with a wrap content here also, so you can see. And here also let me change the wrap content. So this is how your activity looks like. Fine. Are you getting this?
yes, sir. Good.
Yeah. Now let me set the text in the button. Let's say my first button is first activity. I want to write first activity. Then in the second button I want to write go to second. So this is how it looks like. This is first activity, then this button is go to second. So if I will click on this button, then I should go to this second activity. And as of now, we don't have any components in the second activity. So let me open the second.xml file. You can see there is nothing. Let me go to the code part. Let's rename this or change this constraint layout with the linear layout. Let me give the orientation property. Let's go with horizontal, or let's go with vertical. And set padding property also if you want certain distance, let's say 30 dp. And now let me place one button here. As I said, we will not place the component straight away, we will write the code. So I am creating the button in the second activity, and the tag for button is button. You need to set width and height. Let me go with wrap content. I want to set the text property as well, and I want to write second activity. As of now, I don't want any other things. Similarly, I want one more button. So let me create one more button here. I can set the width and height set properties. I can set the text property. Let's say go to third, and that's it. So you can see here. This is the design, and see here I have put 30 dp padding. So from each side it will use 30 dp, and then it will start putting the components. So there are two buttons in the second activity as well. Any doubt so far?
No, sir.
Yeah, and let me go with the third activity as well. Or one more thing we can do in second activity, let's put one more button. Let me now copy it, and here instead of go to third, let me write go to first. So what I'm going to do, from main activity we can go to the second. Similarly here also let me put one more button. Let's copy this, paste it, and here let me write go to third. And this ID we are going to change, don't worry. As of now, let me just remove the ID so that you can get an idea. Later on I'm going to put the ID as well, because to find the IDs for each control is also equally important. So see, in first activity there are three buttons. First activity, then go to second, go to third. If I go in second activity, then again there are three buttons. The first button is for that activity itself, second activity, then I can go to third activity, and I can go to first activity. And same thing I can do for third. So let me go to the code part again, and let's rename this layout with linear layout. and let me set the orientation property vertical. Let's give padding also 30 dp, and let me put 3 buttons here also, so I can use the button tag. I can set the wrap content properties for width and height. I can set the text property as well. So here let me write third activity. That's it. I want 2 more buttons, so let me copy code. Here I can write go to second activity or go to second only, and here I can write go to third, sorry, go to first, and this is the design of the third activity. Are you getting this?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So far what we have done in the main activity, we have placed 3 buttons. So from first activity I can go to the second, I can go to the third. Once I will go to the second activity, from that activity I can go to third, I can go to first, and similarly from third also I can go to second and I can go to first. So from any activity I can switch from one activity to another activity. So this is what we are going to do. So far let me know if you have any doubt.
No doubt, sir.
Okay, so now the only thing is we will have to find IDs of each controls in the Java files, and then we will implement the click events of each button. That's it. And then I will explain you how you can navigate from one activity to another activity. What kind of logic is needed to transfer the activities that we are going to discuss. So first what I'm doing, I'm going with the main activity file, and this is the main XML file for that. So as we know, to connect all the components in the Java file, we need to give the IDs to each controls. Do you remember this?
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Yes. जितने भी कंपोनेंट हमने XML में प्लेस किए उसकी आईडी हमें यहाँ पे रखनी पड़ेगी. एंड टू सेट द आईडी व्हाट यू कैन डू, यू कैन यूज द प्रॉपर्टी android:id @+id slash, and you can give the appropriate name so that you can remember that this button is for this activity. So if I write, let's say btn first, this is the id for first button. Then here also let me set the id for second button. Let's say this is btn first second. I need to write @+id, which I forgot, like this. And similarly for the third button, let me set the id @+id btn first to third, so that we can come to know that I'm talking about the button which is in the first activity, and I'm talking about the last button which can navigate me to the third activity. So these are the IDs of all 3 buttons. Now we need to find all the IDs here. So what we can do, we can create an object of all 3 buttons. Button, let's say b1, b2 and b3. Again here also you can give the appropriate name. As of now we are running out of time, so I'm going too fast, so I can go with any names. Now can anyone tell me how to find the IDs of all 3 buttons here in this Java file? Anyone? What should I do now?
Create object of button.
No, we don't need to create an object, but simply we can use the find view by id method to find the id of all the components which are placed in the XML file. So what I can do, I can write b1 equal to, then I can use find view by id, and now I need to give the entire path. My id is located in resource r dot, the tag is id dot what is it, it is btn first. Similarly I can find it for second button. b2 is equal to find view by id r dot id dot button first to second, and similarly you can do it for third button. Are you getting this?
Yes, sir.
So we have got IDs of all the components, you can see here. Fine.
सर फर्स्ट टू सेकंड फर्स्ट टू थर्ड जो आप बनाए हो
Yes.
वही आप
वही आप सेकंड या थर्ड में भी यूज करोगे?
No, in that case there are few more buttons. See, now let me go to the second activity. There are 3 more buttons.
हाँ सर, इसमें भी गो टू थर्ड है, तो आप वो फर्स्ट टू थर्ड वाला इसमें इस्तेमाल नहीं कर सकते ताकि ज्यादा यूज ना करना पड़े?
No, see, you cannot do that because for each activity, whatever components you have placed, you will have to refer the unique ID. Otherwise, the studio will get confusion that you are talking about which button. From third activity, you cannot use the button which is placed in the first activity. That is what you cannot do. In that case, you need to switch from third to first. That you can do.
ओके सर.
So now what we are going to do, again in the second XML file, we are going to do the same process. We will set the ID to each component. Let me set the ID @ +ID. This is btn second. Then here also I am talking about one more button, @ +ID btn second to I think third, second to third. And this is also one more button. Let's set the ID. I am talking about btn second to first, and we can find each component in the second file. So here also I need to create the object of 3 buttons, b1, b2 and b3. You need to import the package. You can press Alt or Enter. You can see the suggestions import class. Let me import it. And now let's find ID of all the controls here also. B1 is equal to find view by ID r.id.btn second. Then B2 is equal to find view by ID r.id.btn second to third. And B3 is equal to find view by ID r.id.btn second to first. Here also you can give name. Let's say second. Let's say this is second to third, and this is second to first. You can replace it. Naming convention is very important, otherwise you will get confusion that you are talking about which button. Similarly, in the first activity also, let me give the appropriate name. And this is the first button. This is first to second, and this is first to third. Are you getting me?
Yes sir.
Great. Yeah, and same thing we can do for third activity. So let's go to the third activity. Let's set the ID. The ID, and this is the third button. Similarly for second button, let's use ID @ID, and third to which button is this? Second. Third to second. Similarly, last ID is third to first. Let's find ID in third activity. So here also create the 3 objects of button. Let's say button third, then third to, what is the name? Third to second, and third to first. And you need to import the package. Let's find the IDs of all 3 buttons here also. Third equal to find view by ID r.id.btn third. Where is it?
सर वो आपने इंपोर्ट में क्या किया एक बार आप बताओगे?
Alt or Enter. So it will be imported here. You can see button is imported here. So if you are getting error, then here you can move your cursor and you can press Alt or Enter to get the suggestions. So if I remove here, let me remove this again. See, I'm getting an error. So what I will do, I will move my mouse here and I will press Alt or Enter. By default, you can see it will import the package.
Okay, sir.
And here I need to go with BTN. I just forget, so that we can follow the uniform pattern everywhere. Yeah, and let me go to the third, and here let's find the ID of third button, which is BTN third, then third to second is equal to find view by ID r.id.btn third to second, and the last one is third to first equal to find view by ID r.id.btn third to first. That's it. Now we have connected all the Java files, and similarly all the components are now inside the Java files. See, for each activity appropriate XML file is there. For third activity, activity underscore third is there. For second, activity underscore second. For first, activity underscore main, you can see. And now we have got IDs of all the components. Now only thing is we need to implement the click events of all the buttons. So can anyone help me? Let's say for main activity I want to implement the click events of the first two buttons, or last two buttons, button first to second and button first to third. Can anyone help me to create the click event of both the buttons?
सर वो कुछ न्यू करके करना होता है ना.
Yes, we need to use this object. So what we will do, first to second dot, you need to use this set on click listener interface. First to second dot set on click listener, and here you need to write new control space, and you need to implement the first method, which is view dot on click listener. Just click on that and you can see it has implemented the click event of the second button. So whatever action I want to do based on this click event, and that logic I can write inside this on click method. Is it fine?
Yes sir.
Yes, sir.
Similarly, you need to create the click event of third button. So what I will do, I will do the same thing. First to third dot set on click listener, new control space, I will get view dot on click listener. Just click on that, and this is the click event of first to third button. So let's say if I want to click on that button and if I want to do something, so whatever I want to do, I can place my logic inside this on click method. So I have implemented click event of both the buttons. Same thing I can do for second activity. Go to the second.java file, create the click event of second to third and second to first. So what I can do, second to third dot set on click listener, here I can write new view dot on click listener. That's it. This is the click event of second to third button. Similarly, I can do it for second to first dot set on click listener. Here I will write new view dot on click listener. This is the click event of second button, and same thing I can do for third button. And so now can anyone help me? What should I write here? Anyone?
Yes sir.
I want to implement the click event of the two buttons which are there in the third activity, third to second and third to first. How to implement the click events?
On click listener लिखना
Sir,
है ना सर.
हाँ.
Third to second dot set on click listener, new view dot on click listener. Fine.
Yes sir.
And same thing you can do for the next button, which is third to first dot set on click listener, new view dot on click listener. So these are the click events of the next two buttons. Any doubts so far?
No, sir.
Okay, great. Now, what I'll do? See, now let's say I am in the main activity. Now, from this button, I want to go to the second activity. Wait for a minute. Hello. 140 માં ફોન કરો ને લેક્ચર ચાલે છે. Yeah. See, now from first activity, when I click on the second button, which is first to second, I need to navigate from first activity to second activity. Fine. Are you getting me?
Yes, sir.
Yes. हमें ऐसा करना है कि यहाँ पे जो activity underscore main.xml है, this is the design for that. If I click on this button, go to second, तो यहाँ से मुझे redirect करके second activity में चला जाना है. उसके लिए let me write certain messages also so that you can understand it properly. Here let me give padding first, 30 dp, and before this button let me place one text view also. Wrap content, and for this text view I want to write something. Welcome to the first activity. This is what I want to write. Welcome to the first activity. Oh yeah, I don't need to do this. And let me give the text size. I want a little bigger font. Oh my god, I want little bigger only. 20. Yeah. So same thing I want in each file. So in second activity also, here let me place one text view so that you can easily get. Now we are in the next activity. Text welcome to the second activity, and I want text size 20 dp. This is how it looks like, and same thing I can do in the third activity. Wrap content, and I can write welcome to the third activity. You can go with text size 20 dp, and this is the design. Welcome to third activity. So now once I will click on the second button in the first activity, which says go to second, when I click on this button I need to go from current activity to second activity, so it should display this activity. Now here if I click on go to third, or if I click on go to first, based on the click event I need to go in either third activity or in first activity. This is what we are going to do. Fine. This is what the application we are going to implement in this application. Is it fine? Any doubts?
No, sir.
Okay, great. So now for navigating the things from one activity to another activity in Android, mostly the concept which we are going to use, that is intent. Are you able to see my notepad screen?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Okay, so this is the concept which we are going to use throughout the course, which is intent. Actually there are two types of intent. One is implicit and the other one is explicit. Using intent you can navigate from one activity to another activity, you can pass your information or data from one activity to another activity, everything you can do. And mainly there are two types. First one is implicit, second one is explicit. In case of explicit intent, generally we are switching from one activity to another activity, where the activities are made by user, activities are implemented by user. But in case of implicit, we can switch from our application to any kind of inbuilt applications or any inbuilt activities. So for example, in our activity as of now, let's say this is the design. So here if I click that I want to dial a number, so here if I write dial a number, when I click on this button dial a number, I want to open the dialer, which is the inbuilt functionality of my mobile. So here from my activity I am using the inbuilt activity. That is an example of implicit intent. Similarly, from my activity, if I want to send an email, from my activity, if I want to send anything through WhatsApp, if I want to share a file, if I want to use the camera, if I want to use the file storage, everything, whatever inbuilt activities or inbuilt functionalities I want to access, and that also I can do using intent. But for that, you need to implement the implicit intent. And if you open the another activity from your activity, then in that case, whatever thing you do, that is known as explicit intent. Are you able to understand it?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
रिपीट करना एक बार सर implicit वाला.
Yes, I am repeating it. See, in my case, what I am going to do in this application, there are 3 activities, and all 3 activities are implemented by me only. So these are the external activities. These are not the inbuilt activities. ये पहले अवेलेबल नहीं थी, मैंने अभी तीनों एक्टिविटी अभी बनाई है, तो ये हो गई एक्सटर्नल एक्टिविटीज. सो नाउ if I want to switch from any activity to any other activities, in that case I need to use intent, but that will be the explicit intent because I am not using any of the inbuilt functionalities. But from any activity, if I access the inbuilt functionalities, let's say from this activity I try to access the camera, I try to access the file storage of my mobile, if I try to access the dialer of my phone, if I try to share the file through WhatsApp, through email, if I want to send an email, so whatever inbuilt functionalities are there in my mobile, if I want to access any of the inbuilt functionalities, in that case I can do that using intent, but for that I need to implement the implicit intent. Are you getting the difference between both?
Yes sir, अब समझ में आया.
या तो अपने फोन में जो भी इनबिल्ट फंक्शनलिटीज है उसको मुझे मेरी एप्लीकेशन के साथ इंटीग्रेट करना है, तो वो हो गया इम्प्लिसिट इंटेंट. और मुझे ऐसा करना है कि मेरी कई सारी बनाई हुई एक्टिविटीज है उसको मुझे कनेक्ट करना है, और मुझे कोई एक्टिविटी से दूसरी एक्टिविटी में ट्रांसफर होना है, कोई वैल्यू को पास करना है. In that case, all those activities are external activities. So in that case, you need to implement explicit intent. We are going to discuss both the things in detail, so don't worry. Now, in this example, what we are going to do, we are going to use the explicit intent. So to switch from one activity to another activity using intent, using explicit intent, you need to follow the syntax. And the syntax says you need to create an object of intent class. There is an inbuilt class which is intent. You need to create an object of that class, and in Java also we were discussing that if I want to access the inbuilt methods of any class, then first thing is we need to create an object. So this is what I'm doing. Your step number 1 is you need to create an object of intent, and then you can use the methods of intent class to navigate from one activity to another. That's it. Use the method of intent class. Now while creating an object you need to pass few parameters. So it will ask you to give 2 parameters, where simply you need to give the source and destination. First parameter is your current file or your current object in which you are running now, and second is your destination. That's it. And these are the 2 parameters which you need to pass, and then you can call the start intent method of this intent class. This is what we are going to discuss. So now let me create an object of intent here. So I'm creating an object of intent. Intent, let's say in equal to new intent, and here it will ask 2 parameters. As I said, first parameter is your current class. You can see here there are various parameters. Your first parameter is your current activity. So my current activity is main activity.this. If you remember, we were discussing about main activity.this. We are using this keyword to refer the current object, or else you can use one more thing, which is get application context. The meaning of get application context is whenever you use this parameter, it will always refer this object, or you can say it will always refer the current object in which you are running as of now. So it is up to you. Either you can use get application context or you can use main activity dot this. Both are same. It is up to you. It is your choice. So this is your first parameter. Is it fine?
Yes, sir.
And the second parameter is the next activity in which you want to navigate. So I want to navigate to second activity, and for second activity the class file is second.java. So you need to remember that you need to write name of the activity, which is second in this case, and you need to call the class file, because once we create a class, once we write the code in Java file, whenever we compile it, it creates a class file. So to refer that file, you need to call it using class. So that's it. This is how you can create an object of intent. It's very simple. You just need to remember that you need to create an object of intent, and while creating an object, you need to pass two parameters. First parameter is your current activity. Second parameter is the next activity in which you want to move, you want to navigate. Is it fine?
सर ये क्लास क्यों लिखा वो नहीं समझ आया.
Yeah, see,
Second.
we are going to refer the second.java file, but we cannot write second itself, because whenever we compile the file, whenever we compile the entire application, for each Java file, it will create a class file. If you remember, in Java also we were discussing that once you compile any Java file, it will convert your entire code into the class file, in which there will be bytecodes, which is understandable by machine only.
Yes, sir.
Fine. So that is why to refer that file, we need to use second.class. Once you create an object, you need to call one of the method of intent class. Now my question is, what if I want to access any of the method of intent class? What should I do now? I don't know which method I need to use. What should I do? How can I access any methods of intent class? I am talking about all the intent methods. Sorry, all the inbuilt methods.
सर इंटेंट डॉट लिख के फिर सजेशन शायद आएगा ना.
Correct. Either I can use intent dot. So in that case, I will get list of all the static methods, because intent is the class. Or else if I want to access the non-static method, then I can use the object dot method name, if you remember. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So we can write in dot something. So you can see I am getting various suggestions. So for me, as of now, whatever method I am interested in, that is the, sorry, actually we need to use start activity method only, and here we need to pass the reference of intent. Actually this method is of intent class, but this is not a static method, or this is not a non-static method. It's an ideal method of this class, so you can simply call the method using start activity, and here you can pass the reference. I can write in is the object of intent. So what it will do, first it will create an object of intent, and what intent says, you are in main activity and you are trying to move in the second activity, and whatever object you are having, based on that it will start the new activity. So this start activity method is not of the intent class. Start activity method is not of the intent class. It is the method of activity, which is app compat activity, if you remember this one. So that is why you don't need to even create an object. You can access it. This method is not of intent class. I was wrong in that. Are you getting this?
Yes, sir.
So every time you need to start the activity, and whatever object you will pass here, based on the parameters, it will switch. That's it. You need to remember these two lines only. Now let me run this file. Actually, I need to connect my phone again. I need to connect it. Wait for a minute. Yes. And now let me open the visor also so that I can show the output. See, I am continuing this session as well. The session which is at 1 o'clock. I'm continuing this so that it doesn't break. Is it fine for you?
सर वो
Yes, sir.
मिलन सर ने लिंक दे रखा था.
Is it so? Let me ask Milan sir that I'm continuing this session. Wait for a minute. And now let's run this application in my mobile. What happened? Why? What is the problem? Okay, I need to install it. I was not doing it. And there you go. So as of now, we have implemented the event in first to second button. Let me click on this go to second button. I am just clicking it using my mouse. I cannot do it. I need to use my mobile. So let me do it. And you can see welcome to the second activity. Are you getting this?
Yes, sir.
Fine. But now from here, if I am clicking anywhere, it doesn't do anything because we have not implemented the intent in any button. So same thing we are going to do now in this on click method of first to third. What you can do, you can just copy this, paste the code. Instead of second, I want to go in third, so I can write third dot class. That's it. Similarly, let me go with the second.java file. Here I need to use instead of main activity, the activity is second, so I can write second.this. From this button I need to go in third, so I can write third class second.this to third.class, correct. And here again I can write second.this to, I want to move in the first.class. Actually it is not first, it is main activity. So main activity.class. Is it fine? Are you getting this?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
And same code we can do in the third activity. I can write instead of main activity, this is the third.this. Here I want to go in the second, so it is second.class, so it is correct. Similarly, from the last button, from third.this I want to go in first.class, so I can write first. Actually it is main activity.class, and everywhere we are starting the activity and we are passing the reference start activity in. That's it. Now let me run this file and let's see what it does. So now it is getting installed. And this is your first activity. Now let me click on go to second. You can see I'm going in second activity. Now here I'm clicking on go to third button. You can see I'm switching from second to third. Welcome to third activity. Now from third activity, if I want to go in the first, I can click on go to first, and you can see welcome to first activity. Now again I want to go in the third activity, so it is welcome to third activity. From third activity I want to go in second activity, so now it is in second, second to third, third to second again, second to first, first to third. So whatever kind of switching you want, you can do switching from one activity to another activity. Is it interesting? What do you think?
Yes sir.
Yes sir.
सर
And
ये
so yes,
इंटेंट का आपने जो ऑब्जेक्ट बना IN वो
Yes.
सबके लिए कॉमन रहेगा?
yeah, it is up to you, because see this is a kind of static things. What we can say, we have declared this object inside this scope only, but if you make it dynamic, in that case you need to go with different objects. Here the scope of this intent is limited in this area only. Once I will go out of this bracket, then this intent is no more. So that's why you can go with same name, it is fine. And if you want to go with different name, then also you can go with that IN1. Here you can write IN1. So it is your choice.
ओके सर.
Yes.
सर एक
any-
डाउट है.
Yes.
सर आपने ये जो इंटेंट डेमो मॉड्यूल है वो कैसे बनाया था, आपने एक बार बता दोगे फिर से?
Correct. You can do right click on this app. See, you need to understand that in which application you want to create a module. If you want to do it separate, then in that case you can first go to the project. Then this is my main application, RKO 5th all applications, inside which I want to create more number of modules. So our first application was normal app. In that we were discussing about click event of button. Now I was interested in creating the second application, which is intent demo. So what I did, I have done right click here, new and new module. So now let's say I want to go with the new module. It is for phone and tablet module. Let's click on next, and here let's say test module, and click on next. I want to go with empty activity and finish. So it will create one more application. The way app is there, the way intent demo is there, you can see here test module is one more application which is inside the master application. This is your project, RKU 5th all applications. So inside this folder only we are going to create all the applications throughout this semester.
Okay sir.
So this is how you can do it, and from here also you can find everything. You can find main file, you can find Java file, you can find resource file. But if you go with Android object, Android option, then you will find it very easy. You can see here test module, you can explore it. So there will be only 3 folders. So it will be very easy for you to deal with this project.
Okay sir.
Yeah. Any other doubts?
No sir.
So today we have discussed about how you can navigate from any one activity to another activity using the concept of intent. Again, I'm repeating, to use intent, you can create an object of intent. While creating an object of intent, you need to pass 2 parameters, where your first parameter is the current activity. In whatever activity you are, that object you will have to pass here. So let's say if you are in third activity, you need to write third.this. This will refer that you are in the third activity itself. But if you don't want to write the activity name, then as I said, you can simply use get application context. See, instead of main activity.this, see here hint you are getting package context. So if I write get application context, then the meaning is same. In that case, you don't need to write even the activity name. Everywhere you can use get application context. So automatically in whatever activity you are, it will take the reference. It will always refer the current activity only. So everywhere I can write this. Instead of this, I can write this. In the second.java file also I can write get application context. Here also I can write get application context. In the third.java file also I can write get application context. So always whenever you need to refer the current object, it is always advisable that you use get application context, so that you don't need to remember the name of your activity. Otherwise there is a chance that we do mistake. In this case there is no chance of doing mistake. Get application context will refer the current object in whatever activity you are. So if I am in third activity, then it will refer the object of third activity. If I am in second, then this same thing will refer the object of second activity. Let me run this. This will also work. What is going on?
सर आपने एक जगह पे IN1 लिखा था थर्ड टू फर्स्ट मिशन.
Yeah, but at that I have already passed IN1. If it is there, I don't know. Let me see. No, I think I have removed it. No, it is there. IN1 here also IN1, so it is not an issue.
ओके सर.
So now application is getting installed. Let me install it. Oh, I think test module is getting installed. Yeah, hello world. I am getting test module. I don't need to run this application. I need to run intent demo. Let me do it again. I thought why it is asking for installing one more time. I need to terminate the previous thing.
सर ये टर्मिनेट का मीनिंग क्या होता है? हम लोग जब रन करते हैं हमको भी ऐसा कुछ टर्मिनेट डिस्कनेक्ट का ऑप्शन आ रहा था.
Yeah, so if you are installing the same application again and again, then Android Studio is saying that whatever previous operation is there, you need to terminate it so that it can launch the fresh version. That's it. Yeah. So now if I click on go to second, then also you can see it works. From here I can go to first, from here I can go to third, from third I can go to second, from second to first, first to third. Every activity is working fine. And so it is up to you. If you use your current activity.this, then also it is fine. If you use get application context, then also it is fine. Get application context will generally it will be applicable through entire application. You can use this in any activity. So you are in whatever activity, it will refer the object of that activity only. So that's why it is very useful method, get application context. Let me know if you have any doubts so far.
No,
सर ये
sir.
गेट
नहीं सर,
एप्लीकेशन
अभी तो
कंटेक्स्ट किस काम में आता है?
We are using this get application context to refer the object of current activity. See, यहाँ पे इंटेंट में मुझे वो रिक्वायरमेंट थी कि मेरे जो दो पैरामीटर्स है उसमें से पहला पैरामीटर है उसमें मुझे करंट रेफरेंस देना है कि अभी मैं कौन सी एक्टिविटी में हूँ. तो वो करंट रेफरेंस जब भी देना है तो आइदर आई कैन यूज करंट क्लास डॉट दिस और आई कैन राइट गेट एप्लीकेशन कंटेक्स्ट. आर यू गेटिंग मी?
तो ये थर्ड वाले का वो देगा ये.
Yes, if I write get application context in third.java, then it is equivalent to third.class. Sorry, third.this. If I write third.this, then whatever meaning of this statement is, it is having same meaning. Get application context and third.this both are same. But if I use get application context, then throughout the entire application I can use it in any activities. I don't need to separate it.
Okay, sir.
Are you getting this?
Yes, sir. Yes.
Yeah, so you can say that globally we can use it, and we don't need to even remember the activity name so that we don't do mistake. And so whenever you need in any activity, you can use it. And still there is one more method which is get context, that also I'm going to explain later on when it will come here. As of now, I don't want to confuse you because get context, get application context, and get base context. There are three such methods, and each method is equally important. So I will explain you clearly once I will use the remaining methods. But as of now, you can say if you use get application context, then it will always return the context for the entire application. So in my application, I may have 10 or 15 activities running. So instead of referring the current activity using class name or file name dot this, you can use this context using get application context. The meaning of both the things are same. Yeah, let me know if you have any more doubts so far, whatever we have discussed.
No, sir.
Okay, so if you don't have any doubt, then I'm going to give one homework to you, and now I'm going to stop this recording so that it can